watching Girl Decide. I'm Jane Kasumba. Today's topic is a young woman and their over-obsession with beauty. Here to discuss all this and so much more is Sylvia Namutebi, a former Miss Uganda, a philanthropist, and a lady who has a good head on her shoulders and says that beauty is not everything. Sylvia, it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure meeting you, really. It's always a pleasure.
Okay. Sylvia, for those who might not know you, just a little about you, how you grew up, and what you currently do now.
Sylvia Wilson Namutebi. I got the chance of representing Uganda's Miss 2011-2012. I grew up in a Christian-based family, grew up doing a lot of charity work, a lot of rural-based ministry from a very tender age, ever since I can remember. I think that's where I got my passion from my father. He did village outreaches, which I still take on up to now. Yeah. He studied at different schools, graduated at Makerere University with a Bachelor's of Human Resource Management. And currently I have my own charity organization. I'm into fashion and media, doing a lot of things as a young woman, any young woman could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Many women who are watching today are very interested in perhaps becoming the next Miss Uganda, or perhaps following in your footsteps as a model, and the whole beauty industry as a whole. What are the criteria for a young woman perhaps who might want to enter the beauty industry, especially becoming a future Miss Uganda or Miss Kenya or Miss Tanzania?
I also happen to be lucky that the official Miss Uganda judge regionals on the 4-judge team that judge when we are choosing the regionals. So that means I am one of those people that knows what to look for when it comes to beauty. And I know that beauty is not all about physical appearance. It's much more than that. We meet so many drop-dead, physically gorgeous girls. But when this person begins to speak, you don't want to look at them. You're like, where did you come from? And who are you? The beauty suddenly disappears. And then you find this young girl. She's so humble. She knows what she's talking about. She introduces herself. And normally they're the humble ones just seated in a corner saying, hi, Sylvia. You're like, hey, you don't see so much potential. But when they get on stage and start speaking, you start seeing that beauty come out in them, and you're like, wow. So that is what we normally look at, contrary to so many people's beliefs that public opinion, especially here in Uganda. Oh, Miss Uganda should be strikingly beautiful. She should be tall up to that side. She should be with large hips and all that, you know. It is not that, because you may desire that person, but once that person starts to speak, you'll not want to look at them, and that is not beauty. Beauty should come from within and should show on yourself on the outside. That is what true beauty is.
For those of you who might not know, as a representative for Uganda, as Miss Uganda, Sylvia Namutebi had to travel and compete on the international stage at the prestigious Miss World. And of course, your criteria for beauty was very different. Was there a lot of pressure for you, perhaps, to conform to what is beautiful on the international scene?
No pressure at all, because when you leave the Ugandan platform and you go to do international beauty pageants, there's also other politics involved, other dynamics that Uganda did not have at that time. I wasn't able to reach on time. I wasn't able to have a proper profile picture on the Miss. It wasn't a professional. Yeah, and people start voting from there. We do not have a high viewership of Miss World in Uganda. You look at a country like Venezuela, they have millions of viewership. Yeah. On the Miss World page, on the finals, and all those are all dynamics and politics that go around in this beauty pageant that Uganda has to engage in. That's the difference between the local pageant and the international pageant. Because when you come, it's about politics, beauty pageant politics. So I wasn't under any pressure. I did my best as I could. I was on the sports team. I'm a very fit woman, as small as I am. I'm very fit. I was on the Miss World top 16 sports queen. I was on the Beach Beauty top 16 Miss World. So I didn't feel any pressure to win. I went there to have the experience, the exposure. I represented my country. People appreciated, and to me, that was a win for me. Yeah, I wasn't under any pressure for the crown, for the titles. No, I went with an open mind.
Well, in East Africa, um, if perhaps you took a survey, most people would say that the young women in Uganda are the most beautiful, are the most fashionable, are the most well-spoken. There's an over-obsession in our society about beauty, about looking good, about appearing a particular way. What is your take on that?
Yeah, there is an increase year by year about beauty. We find people are going for different body enhancement, uh, breast implants, hips implants, cheek implants, and it's become an obsession globally, not only in Uganda or East Africa, but when I'm also talking to I'm going to talk to the viewers out there the way I talk to my young sisters because they try to follow in my footsteps. One, I tell them, appreciate the way God made you. Imagine, we do a lot of these village outreaches and my heart cries. You find a young woman, 16, with all this family. She has no hope. But somehow you take her these little things, you take the family and they become happy and contented. And I tell them, look at you. You're rich, you have everything you need, you have 2 legs, you have very nice flowy hair. What more do you want? Imagine if places were changed and you were that person. Would you kill yourself? Or would you survive? So this obsession is one, I blame it on the content young people watch on TV. In the media. They want to be like keeping up with the Kardashians, 24 hours made up. I do not make up if I'm not coming on TV, if I'm not stepping on stage. You'll find me home, no makeup. Because I want to every day look in the mirror and I say, yeah, this is Sylvia and she's indeed beautiful. My sisters always laugh at me. I love the camera. Every time I take a picture of me, take a picture of me. But it helps me appreciate myself every single day and know that even without the hair, even without the makeup, I'm still a gorgeous woman. That is what young people should know, that when you see the stars on TV, the Kardashians wearing makeup 24/7 on their show and they are gorgeous women and you're like, oh my God, I wish to be like that. It's not like that. Because after the hair is gone, after the eyelashes are gone, after the foundation is gone, who are you? When you look in the mirror, who are you? Are you able to love yourself? Are you able to like yourself and appreciate yourself as a woman? If you can't, then it's high time, young people, Uganda, East Africa, you started appreciating yourself, the natural you. Love yourself. And then they always tell me then, why do you plait that hair? Why do you have all that jewelry? I say, I'm accessorizing. I'm just accessorizing. As a woman, yourself, we are, cheeky, we love colors, so you accessorize, but that doesn't mean that if you found me in my natural hair, I'll not be the same person. I will be the same happy Sylvia. That's the difference. That's what makes the difference.
There's so many people who have the assumption that because you're beautiful, because perhaps you won a pageant in your lifetime, that you're actually just beauty and no brains. But it seems in your case it might be slightly different. You you have a human resource management degree. Do you hope to perhaps practice human resource?
Yeah, most definitely, but not with any other company aside from myself. I was very happy that I did human resources because I'm a very business-oriented kind of person. I cannot be as an employee. I'm a kind of entrepreneur. And for you to be an entrepreneur, you need to know the business dynamics, especially when it comes to the people that you're going to commend or that are going to share your vision. You need to know how to manage them, how to handle them, because they're the ones that build you, that build your vision, that build your business. And most of this I learned from my course. I was very, very happy. I had a decision to make between law and human resources, but at that time I did not have enough funds to go for law at Makerere University. With a very sorrowful heart, I chose to do human resources. But right now, I do not regret, because by the time I became Miss Uganda, I would have still been at law, doing law in university. That means my chance would have gone, because I was crowned Miss Uganda a year after I graduated with the human resource. And right now, I do not even think that I should have gone to a Ugandan court. Really, no. I'm so into business. I'm so starting up small businesses, helping my brothers and sisters there and there. And I see that the education I received in that field has really helped me so much to understand human beings and how you can manage them in the business perspective.
A special thank you to our guest, Sylvia Namutebi. She will, of course, be taking your questions, and they're going to be focused around beauty and our over-obsession as young women on beauty. We'll be right back.
When they first see me, they are, oh, you're beautiful, and all that. But then I explain to them that it is not only my physical appearance, but I have something more than that I can give to you or I can share with you. So in that way, I keep impacting them.
Former Miss Uganda, Sylvia Namutebi, really needs no introduction. She is Miss Uganda, she is an entrepreneur, she is a philanthropist. You name it, Sylvia has done it. And she's here, of course, to demystify the fact that the youth are so over-obsessed, especially young women, so over-obsessed with beauty. We're now going to take your questions.
Okay. Hello, Sylvia. It's Malcolm. So I'm just so happy to have this opportunity to meet you in person. And my question is, if you had this opportunity of taking laws in Makerere University, and then you had to, let me say, take it on, and you didn't have this issue of funds, then how would you take on the opportunity of contesting for Miss Uganda, or you would feel like, let me take on the law section of it? Because by that time, well, you just said it's the funds that was the issue between the law and human resource management course. So would you take on a law and then quit this opportunity, or did it come in? I mean, it's just the very third year of your last degree, of your last year.
I have a few friends who are a little obsessed about being skinny. So what would you say about that? Is being skinny beauty, or, you know?
Yes, hello Sylvia. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you today. And me, what I wanted to ask is, what, apart from this kind of show, the Girl Decide show, what other initiative have you put forward to make sure that at least girls of this .com era are not so much taken up by beauty? Because it's the major thing all through.
Sylvia, you talked a little about yourself, your Christian background, yeah? And in my mind, I know that some parents, or the church you go to, they have that kind of decency. I think people believe that when you join that kind of beauty, and basically Miss Uganda, it's all about indecency, that dressing. How did your parents take it when you told them, I want to do this, and your church leaders, and your Christian life? How was it? What was the question behind it, and how did they feel about it? And how did you feel as well?
I've always thought being beautiful, is being yourself and all that. But if you want to work on your weight, if you want to look good, like you look good, do we really have to make it extreme and call it obsession? Because I think it's a matter of choice that people decide to look a certain way. It's a personal choice that people decide to look a certain way and still are able to make money and still are able to take care of their families and do various other things. So isn't it a matter of personal choice that I decide to get implants or long hair extensions and all that?
I've never seen any fat or big Miss Uganda in my life. Me, I always see slender Miss Ugandans. What I want to ask, do those fat people don't don't go to participate, or and what are some of the qualities? For example, I may want to become also Miss Uganda next year. What are some of the qualifications I have to go with to contest for that praise? Because man, I see you're brown, slender, you know me. Me, I've never seen fat Miss Ugandans. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. And like we said, we're talking about young women's over-obsession with beauty. And just from the questions alone, I can see beauty plays a very big part in many of our lives. So Sylvia, over to you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and answer the first question. The gentleman asked my dilemma between taking law and human resources, what I would do if I had the funds to go on. In life, there are forces that work with each one of our lives to push you to where you're supposed to be. There are things you cannot explain. You get an answer to them after and you're like, oh, that's why. That's why some pastors tell you when you have a problem, do not cry, God knows why. At that moment, I felt sad because I really wanted to be a lawyer. I'm like, okay, but I need to go and just do human resources. But now I see why God let it to be that way. Because if I had insisted, first of all, I'm a person that puts my priorities first. When I was at MOOBS, people are telling me, go for Miss MOOBS, go for Miss Uganda. I said, no, I'll first finish my education, then go do all these other things. So I know if I'd gone for law, being the focused person I am, I would never have participated. I would have first wanted to do my law, and then that I'm sure, because that's the kind of person that I am, very focused, very principled. So I'm sure, but God had other ways, and hence me taking human resources, and I ended up doing that. So to me, it's a matter of fate playing its part in my life, just as these unexplainable things happen to all of us. So I take it as one of that. Second question was, is being skinny beauty? And I will say no. Being skinny is not beauty. Being curvaceous is not beauty. Being brown is not beauty. Having a nice, smooth skin is not beauty. What is beauty to me? Beauty is skin deep. Beauty comes from within, your heart. Because how will I benefit if you have beautiful skin, you have nice teeth, but you're a mean person? You've never contributed to anything towards society. You've never helped a single person in your life. How is that important? And when you die, what legacy are you going to leave behind? What kind of legacy are you going to leave for your children and the people around you? So that is not beauty. Being skinny, being curvaceous, being long flowy hair, that is not any beauty. Why is Mother Teresa considered a beautiful woman? Because of the impact she left on this earth and because of her deeds. Everyone admires her. Do we know how she looks? I don't. I have no idea, but I know what she did. And that's why we keep talking about her and consider her a beautiful woman. So that is beauty. Doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter how you look like, but what comes from your heart and how it impacts others. And then you become a beautiful person. You see, even the celebrities, all of them are involved in charity work. Most of the big time celebrities, Angelina Jolie, everyone has some kind of impact or give back. Beyonce, they all have foundations. They do. Most people don't know, but they do give millions of dollars back to society. And that is what true beauty is. And the third question is, what other initiatives do I have such that girls are not taken up by beauty? I'm a person that is involved so much in charity work. I have an organization, NGO, called Mission Wide Love. We do a lot of things. For now, we're going to villages, talking to young kids normally. Young kids, giving them different things and trying to impact them in different ways. that's one of the initiative I'm taking. We go and meet different kinds of people, talk to them. They always have asked questions. Young people always have all sorts of questions. So I try, when they first see me, they are, oh, you're beautiful, and all that. But then I explain to them that it is not only my physical appearance, but I have something more than that I can give to you or I can share with you. So in that way, I keep impacting them. Not only that, I'm on the judging panel for Miss Uganda, the regional search. When we go to look for these girls, we keep talking to them about beauty with a purpose, being the theme of Miss Uganda and Miss World. What is beauty with a purpose? So those are all initiatives I do. And then
and just we want you to pick one last question.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, what do you make to make looking good extreme isn't? Why isn't making looking good an extreme personal choice? Well, it's a personal choice because you decide whether. Some people do it because of insecurities, low self-esteem and all that. We have all these problems. But if you're secure with yourself, you may decide, I want to accessorize. Like me, I accessorize my hair. I do not depend on it. It's not that what makes me. But I'm secure. With or without it, I'm still a beautiful person. So it's different factors that contribute to that. And the other, no fat Miss Ugandas, what are the qualities and qualifications to contest? Miss Uganda is also judged on international levels, but there are always other pageants that are around. Just like you see different companies have different rules and regulations and qualifications, so does Miss Uganda, because we are judged on an international level. So Miss World give us the stipulations that we have to follow, but brains have to be one of them, besides any other qualities. Then age, no children, marriage and all that. And lastly, what do I use to keep my skin? I'll say one word, natural products. Look for Murad and your skin will be perfect.
Thank you very much. She deserves a round of applause, doesn't she? And on a final note, I think what she said was very important. Beauty should not be what defines you. Right now you can buy anything from a shop and make yourself look beautiful. But like she said, beauty is skin deep. It starts with you. It starts deep within your soul. On that note, thank you for watching Girls Decide. We'll see you next time.